my name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So you are watching this video by the auspices of time travel. Yes, this is a time travel experiment, sort of, just a kind of a boring one. I'm recording this on the morning of Friday, January the 20th. The main part of this video comes from my live stream last night on Thursday, the 19th of January. Now, Russell T. Davies is on the Graham Norton show tonight. Now, that's in the past for you, but in the future for me. I am hoping, expecting some kind of announcement. Look, it's about his other series. What's it called again? Molly? I can't remember what it's called, but I'm going to watch it. I like all Russell Davies stuff. But you are in the future. You know what he said. I am in the past. I don't know what he said. And this video deals with what he's going to be doing with specifically the 60th anniversary, but more his vision of Doctor Who as well, moving forward, into the future. And because, we're all a bit of agog. We're all a bit of amazed when we saw Beat the Meep. Look, we first saw the Wraith Warriors and Beat the Meep in the location film. We're like, is that the Wraith Warriors? Could that be Beat the Meep? And by jiggery it was, right? We're all I found out more gobsmacking than David Tennant coming back, right? And Catherine Day like, really? Beat the Meep. Because look, you got to get David Tennant's just got to be in the mood to do Doctor Who. Making Beat the Meep isn't easy. But the fact that they're having this deep lore, these comic characters that that most normies don't know about, and I'll say a lot of fans don't know about, shows you why it might be the wild and crazy thing that we're heading towards in the future, which is quite exciting. So I grew up reading the Doctor Who comics. I was right there when John Ridgway took it over. I loved it. I mean, it was one of the best runs ever. They're all available now as graphic novels. They're really, really, really good. The Peter Davison one is 1 volume. I think is the Pete Davidson 1 volume? Yeah, and the Colin Baker is 1 or 2 volumes, but they're some of the best comics, Doctor Who comics ever. It's just absolutely sumptuous. I think they're all in black and white, yeah. So that's the era they're pulling from. So this article, where was it? It was in kind of a shilly website, but it was quite good. I was surprised how good it was. That goes over a lot of other characters that we might be seeing. Some I'm really expecting to see. I would be really surprised if we don't see Absalom Dack, for example, or Frobisher. That seems to be a way to go. And I talk about this in the video, when we get into the video. The 10th Doctor, David Tennant, 10th/14th Doctor with Frobisher seems so natural, right? If you don't know Frobisher, he's a wisecracking, shape-shifting penguin. Imagine a wisecracking New York PI, private investigator in the shape of a penguin. That's Frobisher. I do think he would work really, really well with David Tennant's Doctor. If you ever want to hear him being performed, it's... Big Finish did a couple of plays. The Maltese Penguin was one of them, and the other one was really good. Holy Terror, I think. Anyway, they're both that was written by Rob Shearman. Absolutely fantastic, right? But it really shows you what the character's like. So there's a lot more characters out there we may be seeing. And, I'd like to be somewhat informational. If you know about all these characters already, it's kind of fun to talk about them. If you don't know about them, it's kind of fun to find out about them. That's the point of this video, okay? That's basically the point of this video. Plus, I worked hard on the thumbnail. I really wanted to do a modern version of Absalom Dack. I cast Henry Cavill as Absalom Dack, who's Dalek Killer. We're going to find, if you don't know who he is, you're going to find out in a minute. And somebody in the chat complained, no, he's too pretty, right? He's too pretty. It's a good point. He is too pretty, but I think he's quite versatile, so you can, muddy him up a bit. They did for The Witcher. Worked quite well. I don't really care. I don't know who will play Absalom Dack, but I don't know if we're going to see it. But these are things as Doctor Who fans we should be aware of. These are things as Doctor Who fans we should be talking of. So that's basically why we're here, baby. That's why we're here. Fine. Before we get into the video, can you hit the like button, the share button, the subscribe button? That's really what I need you to do, right? That is the social contract we have. I will keep spewing this gormless bollocks, into the camera. You will consume it, and if you can hit a couple of buttons on the way, oh boy, do we have a great working relationship. In the video notes, there you can find other buttons to hit. You can there's links to my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook, but that I normally use for personal stuff, like my family pictures. They're like, well, you can follow that if you want as well. And also Substack. Substack is my email newsletter where you find out everything that's going on with me and what I'm doing every single day, as I'm sure you are on the edge of your seat to find out. So, sign up for that, absolutely free. Put out a bunch of stuff on there as well. Try and put out an out of print Doctor Who book at least once a week on Fridays. That's going to be my that has been my go-to thing. I actually start doing more videos about that. Anyway, I digress. Sign up for that. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Fine. I think we covered everything. If I haven't said comment, please comment. That really does help me as well. And subscribe. Fine. Let me hand over to me from last night. So if you don't know who these people are, that's what we're going through now. There's been a couple of good articles recently. One of them was the video that's coming out on Saturday, which was when CBR.com admitted that Jodie is crushingly unpopular, right? Like everybody hated her. This article is going through all the major comic characters that are from Doctor Who magazine, which I think is the only place they're going to come from that we might be seeing, and I think let's rate the chances. I mean, if we're getting Meet the Beat, you don't know what we're going to get. Firstly, good thumbnail. Although the use of the AI paintbrush art thing, I'm getting a bit sick of it. But okay, I'm waiting for it to be like really, really refined. All 8. There's more than that. All 8 Doctor Who comics character. God, this is terribly good. All 8 Doctor Who comics character that can appear on TV besides Beep. That's the most terribly written title I've ever seen in my life. Right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like the thumbnail. I think the dog bloater there. That's from Big Finish release. I think. With Beat the Meep facing the 14th Doctor in 2023, it opens the door for other comic characters from the Doctor Who history to appear on TV. There are strong rumors that there's a lot more shit going down, right? I think we're seeing more. I'd be really... If we're getting Beat the Meep, everything we're going to see tonight is totally on the table, right? Everything is on the table, and I'm really glad they're on the table, right? With Beat the Meep set to appear in Doctor Who in 2023, the possibility for more classic comic strip characters to feature in the new Russell T Davies era seems more like, no, it's just going to be in the 60th. Right? It's just going to be in the 60th. The 60th anniversary will see David Tennant and Catherine Tate reunited as the 14th, well, not reunited, the 14th Doctor, I guess reunited the 14th Doctor and Donna Noble in an adventure that features a classic comic villain, Beat the Meep, who debuted in Doctor Who and the Star Beast in 1979. And then there's quite a good audio adaptation of it. Plus, there's another one called The Ratings War. By the way, they're also coming out, they're releasing The Terror of the Master, which is excellent. Absolutely excellent. I really recommend that. Read by John Colshaw. Really, really, really good. Anyway, I digress. Where was that to? Beep is a cute, fluffy, white alien creature that actually is a terrifying war criminal who was on the run from the Wraith Warriors, who are due to feature in at least one of the 3 specials. Yes, I don't know how long they're going to be in it for, but I'm really psyched about that. The returning classic Doctor Who villain was first featured in Doctor Who Weekly, and there's actually a fun part I think in 2001 where he guaranteed he would never be on TV, right, in Doctor Who magazine. Was in a weekly published, blah, blah, blah. Doctor Who magazine. The 14th Doctor's first full adventure is currently taking place on page of Doctor Who magazine, implying a stronger connection between the comic strip and the TV. Yeah, I think they're in the comic strip reality, right? I mean, maybe they're in like the land of fiction. It might not be the. Oh, I didn't think of that. Maybe they're in the land of fiction. I didn't think of that at all. That would make it. That would actually. Would that work? Could be. In the comic strip, with the Doctor Who due to sit alongside MCU and on Disney Plus in 2023, it makes sense for RTD's new era to pull from the pages of over 4 decades of Doctor Who. Here's what I think they're doing with it, but I think they're They're viewing this as a new production. By the way, that might be what we hear tomorrow night. That the what the first spin-off's going to be. What else is going to be on the channel? That'd be cool. But yeah, who knows? Anyway, I digress. We're on Disney Plus with so many iconic Doctor Who creations to choose from. Here's every character that could appear. There's more than stop. So Absalom Dak, Dalek Killer. I would love this one to appear. Oh my god! I mean, it would be just crazy and awesome. I would love Absalom Dak to appear as Dalek Killer. Aside from the Doctor, Absalom Dak is the Doctor Who is Doctor Who's Dalek's greatest enemy. Dak debuted in Doctor Who Weekly backup strip in 1980. Yeah, drawn by Steve Dillon. I says that. Around for between issues 17 and 20, written by Steve Moore with art by the Preacher's Steve Dillon. Just beautiful artwork. Man, that guy could draw. He started work at 16 and perfectly then. It's just insane talent, right? That's not the picture I'm looking at isn't a Steve Dillon version. That's Lee Sullivan, right? I think he's piloting a Dalek saucer to its destruction right now. Isn't that? God, I know it too well. He told the story of a hardened criminal who accepted the role of Dalek Killer to avoid execution for his crimes. Armed with a trusty chainsaw, that has featured in multiple Doctor Who comic strips over the years and appeared alongside the 7th Doctor and the 11th Doctor. When's the 11th Doctor? Oh yeah, oh no, that's in the Titan comic strips, I believe. Dak has also made one brief appearance on television so far. Yes, his mugshot briefly in episode 8, season 8, episode 5, Time Heist. However, in the wake of the Disney deal, the anti-Dalek spin on DC Suicide Squad could be a potential spin-off series. That's what I think. I don't think they're really going to tell you much about the spin-offs because I think they're coming organically from what they're going to be putting out. And he could be introduced alongside Shooting Gatwa. No, I think all this stuff is just going to be in the anniversary. Instead of a Dalek Killer show. I doubt it, right? But just imagine. That'd be awesome. Frobisher! Yeah, I hope they have Frobisher, right? I do hope they have Frobisher. Frobisher and Tennant will be perfect together. Right? Wouldn't they? I think they would really spark. Oh man, Big Finish. If they're not doing on TV, please, we want Frobisher with David Tennant, right? It's a perfect combination, right? I really like that idea. Frobisher is Doctor Who's wildest commanding character, a shape-shifting private detective who eventually settled on the form of a penguin. The character was introduced in Doctor Who magazine number 88, The Shapeshifter. That was drawn by John Ridgway. That was his first issue, I think. Yeah, that was his first issue. He just took over when Colin Baker started. Steve Dillon did the last Peter Davison story where Gus, his companion, ended up getting killed. And we met the villain Dog Bolter, right, which we're going to come up to in a minute. The character was introduced in Shapeshifter, where he attempted to capture the 6th Doctor and appears an intergalactic crime lord. It wasn't a crime lord; it was just a big businessman, Dog Bolter, who had no, real ethics. Yeah, no. Again, awesome artwork by John Ridgway. Had the glass tube, the Perspex tube, and the time rotor was him, and he drew arms and put eyes. It was very cool. Originally called Avon Tarku, he settled on the name Frobisher because it sounded British. That makes sense. Now, Doctor is now co-producer of Bad Wolf, who are behind his Dark Materials. Yeah, listen, those CGI animals are incredible. Beautifully rendered CGI animals, right? Doctor Who's bigger budget combined with expertise at Bad Wolf could conceivably realize the first CGI companion. Given how well Meet the Beat is rendered, in the upcoming 6th anniversary, a shape-shifting penguin detective could be a piece of cake for them. No, it won't be a piece of cake, but yeah. But Frobisher really works. He's like, a New York detective. He would really work with the 10th Doctor, or with David Tennant, I should say. Josiah W. Dogbolter, right? So he was the villain. This is the guy. He's just read a little bit of Doctor Who comics, right? So this was the final Fifth Doctor story, right? He was being pursued by this this bounty hunter. Right? Okay, yeah, no, because he wanted, they wanted the TARDIS, I think. Right? Well, it will tell me everything about it, right? Josiah W. Dogbolter was another Doctor Who villain who, like Beat the Meep, was primed for a TV appearance. A villain of intergalactic capitalist who looks like a frog smoking a cigar. Again, Steve Dillon, right? Knocking out the park. Dogbolter has faced off against multiple Doctors in the comic strips and audio adventures since his first appearance in Doctor Who Magazine 84. Not that many. Dogbolter has also had a daughter, Brecca, who recently plotted against the... Well, leave me alone. 13th Doctor, Mistress of Chaos. Nobody read that, okay? Leave me alone. Most interesting, Dogbolter once employed the service of Death's Head. Oh, yes, that is true. A Marvel's character who, through his involvement with the Time Variance Authority, directly links Doctor Who to the MCU's Loki. That's actually true. Oh, man, don't. The possibility introduced to bring in Dogbolter into... They're not crossing over with the MCU. Although, I don't know, 1 second. Back in his first run, Russell said he wanted to do a crossover with Star Trek. Shade. Okay, so there's several versions of Shade, right? Shade was into... He's kind of a Rassilon's assassin. This was a very different rendition of Rassilon. Imagine Merlin being a Rassilon. Well, they had this like council of sages, and Merlin was on that too. But Rassilon had this like big flowy beard and was very different. It reminds me when Russell Davis does with the mythology of the Time Lords in the post-Chibnall era. It's gone. Forget it. It's not happened, right? It's going to be erased. That's probably what this is all about. Shade was constructed by consciousness of dead Time Lords stored in the Matrix so they could intervene in situations of the wider universe. Not unlike Joe Martin's future Doctor. Piss off! I don't want to know about it. Shade was tasked with secret missions for the Time Lord. Now they met the 50th ties of time. Most notable Shade's adventures masqueraded as a version of the Doctor in the form of Nick Briggs, Doctor voice Nick Briggs, for the real Eighth Doctor investigating the nefarious alien voice known as the Threshold. That'd be cool to see the Threshold. Very 90s, like a really 90s villain. That was the Threshold. Also probably introducing their division in the Doctor Who. Oh, piss off! Piss off with the Doctor Who flux and oh god, I don't want to know. Croton the Sideman. Now, it would have to look completely different, right? The look of him never worked, right? It worked. It was meant for like one-off story, backup story, drawn by David Lloyd, right? Yeah. Okay. Although Bill Mackey, him another victim of the Warren Capaldi era. What's worrying about it? Era trend of being turned into a Cyberman. She wasn't the first cyber companion during the 1990s. Before then, no. Yeah, they brought him back for the Eighth Doctor. He was with Izzy and who was it? Izzy and what's it called again? Oh, it's just him and Izzy. I forgot. First introduced in the early days. Yeah, look how post Buffy. Everything was like super Buffy at that time, right? Everything was Buffy. First introduced at the very early days of the weekly, Croton appeared in a backup strip on November 8th, 79, blimey, entitled Throwback, the Soul of a Cyberman. Yeah, this was a great little story. It is a really good little story. Did I say who wrote it? Who retained the emotions and freed a group of rebels from cyber conversion. 20 years later, he joined the TARDIS, Izzy in the TARDIS in 1999 and helped defeat the Master's plan to control the Omniverse. Now, that was a good run. That was an excellent run. Doctor has regularly explored the idea of Cybermen in touch with their emotion. Yeah, listen, I think it might... he would have to look different. Like, the look really does work. Maxwell Ellison. Now, he's already been created. He's been played in real life by Who is this? Did they say who it is? I see them talking about redacted. I'm not even going to read that. Will you stop? Lind, what? Okay, so basically he was like a UFO geek that got to know the Fifth Doctor. But here, God, let's go and look at Big Finish for a second. Maxwell Edison. Eternal Summer, there you go. He was played by, cast is Mark Williams. Is it Mark Williams? I thought there was another one who was in as well, who also played. Wait a minute, I thought he was in. Let's look. I want to look see what he look. If he's he was also played Rory's father, I believe. Mark Williams, actor. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. So maybe they can bring him back. He'll be good as a. He was good in Big Finish as Max Ellison, but again, he was exactly like Rory's father. If you remember that one, yeah, it was exactly like that. Like a UFO chaser. I think Izzy was his niece or something. The Spider Dalek variant. No, that's not going to happen, mate. Okay, get over that. That's not going to happen. Spider Daleks was all the thing in the 90s. Everybody wanted Spider Daleks, right? I saw so many designs for Spider Daleks. They finally they were supposed to be in the Proto McGann version of it, and there was some terrible CGI test work. It looked awful, but you saw them finally in a comic strip, kind of like that, but it wasn't really very good. The Threshold, there you go. The Threshold killed Ace, but it was a different timeline. Threshold was defined by being made up of a complete series of like regular dots. It was a really interesting visual idea. So that actually could really work. Because again, you can't see that tone work is all. Do I have any? Yeah, one second. I think I got this graphic novel on my hard drive. Let me find it. Let me go over here. Doink, I'm on the wrong thing. Because when you see them zoom in, you'll see what an interesting idea this could be. Okay, I'm in the right folder. Let's see if I can find Panini. There you go. No, that's not what I was looking for. Unless, is this it? No. Is it this one? It could be. No, not that one. Oh, there we go. Graphic novel. So, which one was it? Oblivion. I think it will be the first one, wouldn't it? Glorious Dead, Endgame. I think Endgame. Oh, here we go. Fine. I'm just opening it up right now. Try opening all of these. Hang on. This is how. There you go. Found what I was looking for. So now I've got to open it up. Doink. Okay. Share screen. Doink. Here we go. So yeah, this is Threshold. So let me zoom in. They're like defined by these dots, right? They as you zoom in, they get more dotty. Yeah. So you could do something where like they like sink into like this whiteness that's surrounded by a perfectly symmetrical series of floating spheres. So I'm saying that there's a lot of room for it to be visually very interesting, right? I really think they could do something. Look, I don't know. Would they do that? I doubt. I think it's too obscure. I think Beat the Meep is more old school, right? So it's more fun. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.